All right, so Clinton, last week we talked about some body positioning from a road rider who's learning to do some off-road riding as well. Now, I'm wondering sort of, as far as the controls, throttle, brakes, clutch, all that kind of stuff, what are the kind of initial tips and tricks that you can give me for getting off-road?
For this adventure kind of riding, yes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our street habits, again, don't transfer really well. A lot of street riders, especially your road racing background, you were told, never use the rear brake going into a corner, front brake only. So those muscle memory habits are gonna come out in our riding here. So a couple of things I predict you're gonna experience, Graham. When we're riding and it gets in soft sand mud, it's gonna wallow and wobble a little. The human instinct, when you hear uh-oh in your brain, is to slow down. That's the worst thing we could do. What happens to your front suspension if you chop the throttle on this thing?
Right.
It's gonna burrow in, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's making it worse. So I know it sounds nuts, but every now and then, when you feel it wobble, I want you to light it up. And that blip, cover the clutch in case it really gets carried away, but that blip elongates the suspension, gets your weight back onto the drive wheel, and it's going to allow our front tire to skim.
Okay, so we're going loose on the front end, cover the levers, and if you start to feel that wobble, give her a little
shot.
Okay.
Now, the other instinct with shutting it off is white knuckling the grip. So if I see your knuckles coming through your gloves, I'll know you're hanging on too tight. Let it flow, let it wander. It's only moving a little distance. That coupled with the shot of throttle is really gonna help. Now let's talk about what brakes to use. We touched on it, road racer, front brake.
Yep.
Off-road rider, we want you really comfortable, Graham, with controlling a lack of traction at the back wheel. That's the best place to start. So that one exercise we'll do down the road is locking up the rear brake with our ABS on the T7 off. So it slides around a little. And the more comfortable we get controlling the lack of traction in the back wheel, the better rider you'll be.
Okay, all right.
So try to stay away from aggressive front brake use off-road until we get more advanced in the curriculum.
All right, so I've got some body positioning tips, and now you've taught me a little bit more about the controls, covering the levers, a little more rear brake. Be careful with that front brake, and how to navigate through some of the soft stuff with giving it a little gas.
That little shot of throttle. Don't be scared of it. This is a fantastic, fun bike. Light it up. Have some fun.
I will do it if you want me to.
Excellent.
All right, let's do this.
Good job.